Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana here.
This is Elsie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Casper inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans. Another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe Panther the Third, and now from the top of Benno Mountain, all the way down to all 50 states and the globe, it's the happy heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going? What's going on?
And not too much geeking. So you want me to introduce the guest?
Are we going to be sleeping with the fishes, Joe?
I think we will if you don't get the guest on the screen. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to the vivacious, vicious Vickie.
Woohoo! What's up?
Yeah. What's
That's
going
me.
on? What's going on?
Welcome, Vickie.
What's up?
So if our fans aren't familiar with you, and if I don't know why they're not, introduce yourself.
Good man. So, I am Vicious Vickie. I am pretty freaking awesome. And if you don't know me, then I'm sorry for you because you should.
That's not fair if they don't know you. I think
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
And we'll be sleeping with the fishes because this is a rescheduled date.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
If I made a funny short video, you would have been like, Joe, calm down. It's going to happen. Don't worry. I was like, I like the thing with the, what's that? The meme with the guy sweating. The key is sweating. That was me. I was like, I'll do.
I love your glasses, by the way. They're very like esque. I like it. Vickie-esque. I like it.
Thank you.
Very Chester Bennington-esque.
That's his gimmick right there. That's Joe's gimmick.
Yes.
I like it. I'm here for it.
I added the sides of my mustache because my sticker's not accurate because that's
Hello.
That's my old
sticker. All right.
That's my old mustache. See, before, after.
I dig it, man. I like it. It's very suave. I like it.
All I can think is the guy from the Office Space, the redneck guy lives next door to the.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking A, man. Fucking A. All I can think
That's fantastic. No complaints there, man.
Yeah.
You better watch this movie over here, man.
Channel 9.
Channel 9, man. Channel 9.
Oh, my Lanta.
Yeah. So Vickie, who trained you?
What's that?
Who trained you?
So I was trained by WrestlePro, Creative Pro New Jersey. They have a New Jersey school and a New York school. I was trained by Pat Buck, who is now a WWE producer.
Oh, wow.
I was trained by Kevin Matthews. I was trained by Danny Moff, who we all know. Danny Moff is crazy. Mario Baccara, who was Mo Sexton at one point. Sean Donovan, who's been in my life since I was a very young girl. So yeah, I have a lot of pillars in wrestling in my life for sure.
Yeah. That's always good, the thing to have in wrestling. You have a lot of pillars and a lot of people that been in different parts of your life so far.
Yeah.
That, like, you could take a little something from everybody. It's not just one person that's giving you advice. It's different sides, you know.
It's all different flavors, as we call it, you know. And if you all the names that I mentioned are extraordinary men and guys in the business who know what they're doing. They know who they are as characters and people, and to have all their different flavors. Like Pat's very technical. He's a very technical guy. He's very, very brilliant in the business. You know, Kevin is a character as well as technicality. Danny Moff is one of the best heels I know. Sean Donovan ranks in that as well. Like they're just like really good heels, and So to have all aspects of the business to like come up in the business with people who are babies and faces, or I'm sorry, babies and heels and have different flavors, man. Like I couldn't ask for anything more. Like I came from a really good background. I was trained really well, and professionalism for sure was ingrained into my head more than anything. And yeah, man, like it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I've been following Dan Moff since his Ring of Honor days. I mean, he's such
yeah.
when he was tag teams with Whitmer back in the day. Yeah, so
yep.
Those are the
He's a
good
good
old
guy.
days.
He's a good egg. The old, he's one of my he's my uncle or father as I call him in wrestling. He's always there for me and always helps guide me. I always pick his brain, because I was, like I said, I'm being a bad guy, you got to pick someone's brain, man. And he was a pillar. I always say pillar. I use that word because it helps, like to describe somebody who's very detrimental to your career and helping you build your career for sure.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the gimmick for Vicious Vicky?
So fun story. My best friend, one of my best friends, will be very thrilled that I'm mentioning this finally, because I've never been asked that. I've never been asked like Vicious Vicky. Like, how'd you come up with Vicious Vicky? So my friend Jill, she said to me one day, she goes, "Vicious Vicky," and I go, "That's so lame," and I'm like, "No." She goes, "No, trust me." And she has nothing to do with the business. She's just a complete outsider, And she's like, "Vicious Vicky, I like it." And then I was asking, I asked my trainers, I asked everybody, and they were like, they loved it. And I'm like, okay. I debuted as a heel. So I'm like, all right, like, we'll do it. We'll try. And I've been Vicious Vicky for 4 years. So I'm like, all right. So I came up with my friend. And then it's actually funny because someone sent me a video like 3 months ago of somebody who was in like some sort of like weird wrestling industry. I don't know what the company was, but it wasn't anything that we know. And her name was Vicious Vicky. And I'm like, and this was like, we're going back to like the 80s. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, what? She was like, "My name is Vicious Vicky, and let me tell you something." She was all like Southern and stuff. And I'm like, no. I'm like, we're going to revamp Vicious Vicky and what that means. But it was given to me by a friend, and I went with it and I ran with it, and I loved it. And it's just, I won't change it. That's just who I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good to have like a certain gimmick that makes the fans think of you exclusively. Like
Right.
with that, like if they see like the fur coat, they're like, "Vicky wears that."
Yeah.
Or the like your outfit you wear to the ring, like the cat, like the cheetah print.
The cat.
The
cheetah print, man. Come on, the cheetah, the leopard. I skin cats for a living. You got to give me some credit.
They see that, oh, Vicky wears that. Like there's indie fans that think of certain things and they think of like you. They'll think the cheetah print or the jacket or the gimmick and stuff like that, and they'll put 2 and 2 together.
100%.
Yeah. Before we were live, I remember you telling us that you're kind of a tweener. So if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So, I was always big on not pulling the curtain back. I was always big on, because I was such a heel for so long that I was just very, like I would walk out and fans would see me and I have my hood up and I was hiding. Like I was trained like as a heel, and that's what I came up in the business as. I debuted as a heel. So it's like I had that mystique about me, and I didn't want to interact with the fans. Because I tried to do that old school mystique of the bad guy, and I loved it. But then I started to get like really good feedback from the fans and promoters and myself, and everyone were just like, you know what, like this is a moment where you got to, like, I was like a tweener. Like, I would like flip the bird to somebody, or like do the, the vafanculo, which is not cursing because we're not speaking English, but like to people, and they'd be like, "Yeah, Vicky," and I'm like, okay, this isn't working out anymore. Like, like for a while, like I was getting booed, I was getting trash thrown at me. I swear, Like, it was just like I was like really living that gimmick, but over time, like people just start to love me and like adore me and they like that badass girl because it's like I'm very open about my life and I'm very public about my life, and I feel like people relate to me as a human more than my character, which is wrestling today is not what it used to be, and it sucks in a way, but it's also cool because back in the day, I'm still here.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day, it was very like black and white. Like either you're a good guy or a bad guy, and now it's like very okay. This person has a story, or this person has a life, this person has a kid, this person's getting married. Like, people in WWE, like everything's just so public today that it's like that mystique is gone, you know? And I pride myself on being who I am from day one in wrestling because I gained a lot of fans. And I don't say fans as a following. I say fans as like people who just relate, So, can you guys see me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay, good.
You're good. We're good. But the thing is, like, there's a lot of characters that get in touch with me and Joe that they ask us, "Do you want to stay kayfabe?" I'm not going to name names though because I don't want to break their kayfabe. But a lot of them would message us, say, "Do you want me to do kayfabe or not kayfabe?" And then some of us would give us a strict like, this is what I want, and that's it.
And we're like,
okay, yeah. All right, we'll go with the punches then. That's it.
Yeah.
Because they want to. Me and Joe, 110% understand. They want to keep the kayfabe alive with their character, and we're 110% for that. So
we're new at this podcast game, but like we understand what you guys are going through because you want to keep your character a certain way, and we want to lift you guys to another level. We love independent wrestling so much, me and Geek, that we want to help. And by getting your name out there, showing your pictures, if you have clips of your matches, you could send us a clip. We'll post it after the show. If you have any clips on your phone, you can send us a clip. We'll post it, stuff like that. Fun stuff like that.
No, that's good. That's how it should be,
And we actually like that when they keep the characters alive like that because it keeps the mystique. It's like, wow,
No, I agree, and I think that that's very important. You gotta like I'm big on your character and everything, but also like being a human.
Yeah,
and I think that today in wrestling, it's very prominent on who the person is as a human, not just a character. And I don't love it, but I don't hate it. And I think for me, I've been kind of indulged into that realm where I'm this is who I am. I won't change. If you don't like me, then get lost.
Exactly.
And people like that. And it works for me. And it's given me a huge fan base that I can't even comprehend. I'm like, oh my God, like this is crazy. And I think that it's important to know that we're entertainers and we love to entertain you, but we're people, and like I said, I hate sometimes to pull that curtain back, but being a tweener and being real in today's day and age is so different than what it was back in the day that I think that it's important to share that,
Yeah.
I gotta fix my Bluetooth here. Keep talking. I can hear you.
It's totally like
I'm like, I can hear you.
It's okay. I gotta plug my computer in anyway. Plugged in. Yay. So
I heard it.
Yeah. So like we can't see you. Your screen's black right now. Are you fixing something?
Just fixing something, Jeff. Just go
I
ahead.
can hear you though. I'm good.
All right. So like, how many promotions are you actually in right now?
So
Just plugging something in, Joe.
Why you think I'm getting mad, Geek? I'm fine.
I'm fine. While everybody's plugging in stuff in right now, I might as well plug in my battery. So I'll just be right back.
Ding, 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 ding. I'm gonna get copyright strike. Uh-oh. Geeky, she's gone.
This one just died on the interview.
Be right back, people. Vicky will be back.
What happened? What happened, Joe?
Good thing this.
We're good?
She left.
Oh. So anyway, so did you end up watching CCW or no?
No. Oh yeah, I watched it. The match was good.
Yeah, the match. Yeah, that was an awesome match, by the way, Joe. All right. For fans that haven't seen it yet, CCW, watch it. CCW Live. It's on YouTube right now. It's their latest video. So Coastal Championship Wrestling. So
hopefully she'll be back. Hopefully it doesn't happen.
Joe.
Is she back?
Joe. I'm asking you, what'd you think of the show? What do you think?
Good. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, not yours. I didn't check out the new show. I didn't know what you meant. But talk about the promotion.
Yeah. I mean, like the promotions, Coastal Championship Wrestling. Did you watch it? Did you watch it or?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it. I told you that twice.
But anyway, yeah. So
me bored her. Okay, let's talk.
All right. Go ahead, Joe. So what do you think? So
what did I think of what? Explain.
I told you. So you didn't get to watch the match. I thought you watched it.
Watch the other match that we can't talk about.
Yeah, we could. We could talk about it.
Oh, that we couldn't. You said we're not allowed to talk about it.
No, we're allowed to talk about it.
Oh, it was a good match. It was like weird. It's like the guy was like a bear or something.
Yeah, a bear, and they used doors in the match. That was actually insane, dude. Right?
It's not the thing you saw.
Yeah.
I was like, what? What the hell?
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I was like,
they use doors. Isn't that insane? Isn't that insane, dude? Right?
You want a delay? Because like you keep talking over me.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I'm on a delay.
Wi-Fi, too much on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that cross body from the top rope. Holy shit, Joe! I couldn't believe that. Right?
I wonder if she's coming back.
Joe.
Oh, okay. I got to worry about that, Key.
Yeah. No, that cross body from the top rope, that was absolutely insane, dude. You know?
Yeah, it was.
And the power slam through the door, oh my god, you know? Probably a friggin' awesome match, you know?
Yeah.
So
great match.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's back.
And she's back.
Where did I lose you guys? Holy crap.
Holy crap.
You're in the dark. It was in the dark, and then it went poof on.
We thought you were boring, so we're like, all right.
No,
she probably left.
I'm so sorry. Where did we leave off? Because I was talking, and I'm like, where'd they go?
I remember what I said. How many promotions are you in? Then it went dark, and then it went out.
So, quite a bit. I said before I was looking at my title belts. Like, wait, where am I? So ISPW, Independent Superstars of Pro Wrestling. That's Tommy Fierro. Tommy Fierro's been in the business for like a really long time, man. Like since he was like 18 years old. He's in his 40s now, running promotions. He runs 80s Wrestling Con, 80s Wrestling page on, Twitter and Instagram and everything. He has a huge following. And now that he's running shows again is huge, and he has so many connections. He's a great guy. He's like family to me. So his company, Warriors of Wrestling, who also has a huge following on like YouTube and everything. They do like the intergender stuff. They're really big on that. And I was never big on that, but when I went to Warriors, I was like, you know what? I'm like, let me do this. So Warriors of Wrestling, Monster Factory. I've been at Danny Cage is amazing. Wrestle Pro, Create a Pro. IWA, Intense Wrestling Alliance, and Nutley Independent Wrestling Federation, which is what I was talking about before I noticed you guys were not here. IWF, Kevin Knight owns that company. I was 11 or 12 when I was going to indie shows for IWF, and the likes of Sean Donovan and Justin Carino and Darren Young, who was Fred Sampson back then, and Robbie E, who was, you know what I mean? Or I'm sorry, Robert Stone, who was Robbie E.
Wasn't Rob Echoes
Sean
back then
Bennett, who's a ref in WWE, who was Matt Bennett, and Danny, who's a ref now. Like, there's these guys that I watched and looked up to and everything, and they're like doing their thing, man. And for me, it's kind of cool to kind of see, I was a kid, 11 or 12, and I'm 28 now, so do the math. Like, for these guys to, like, most of them to be living their dreams, and it took so long. So that's why when I try not to get discouraged, because I look at them and I'm like, okay, well, when I was 11 or 12, you were like 22. You know what I mean? It's like, so I'm 28 now, and I started 4 years ago. So it's like I have time, but does my body, like it's very complicated. But so IWF, BWF, Bronx Wrestling Federation, which was owned by Bronco, unfortunately recently shut down, which stinks, but COVID just kind of ruined that whole thing, and it's terrible because it was a good draw. It was a good crowd. It was a Bronx crowd. Like, it was rowdy, man. And it was awesome. But who else do I have? That's it. Invictus Pro Wrestling, also the champion of their company. They are amazing. They're a newer company the last like 2 years. Really good company, good draw, good promoters, good locker room. GSW, Global Syndicate Wrestling. I wrestled Allison Kay, which is a huge name.
Yeah.
Holodead, I wrestled her for GSW. Masha, yeah. And I've wrestled Masha in the Bronx company. But man, things keep running at me, and I'm actually proud to announce, I will announce it here on this podcast.
Breaking news.
Breaking news, Geek. Put the breaking news on the screen.
I am wrestling for MCW, the company in Maryland, on February 19th, and I'm super excited about that. It's a huge deal. It's a really great company, great promoters, big opportunity. And I'm really excited for that one. So that's a good one for sure.
Geek missed your opportunity. He has like a bar that puts on the bottom of the screen that says breaking news and everything. He didn't do it.
Yeah, breaking news. I even have the match graphic too. When I was talking to you guys, it came up on my Twitter. I'm like, oh, they finally posted it.
Yeah.
No, but that's a huge deal for me. Yeah, we'll get into the logistics, but yeah, that's a big deal for me. I don't want to spill too much, so go ahead, ask question.
So, you're a bit of a belt collector. You're talking about all your belts. Can you show some of them so our fans
can I show you some of them? Of course I can.
Yeah.
This is my ISPW Women's Championship belt. Pink. I love pink. Beautiful. Okay. That's one. This is my Warriors of Wrestling No Limits Championship belt that I actually won from Chris Steeler, who I also watched as a young 11, 12-year-old girl on the indies. Took this from him.
That is a beautiful
very
belt.
monumental, emotional moment, but I took it. Here we go. That's two. Invictus Pro Wrestling. What a beautiful belt. Look at this thing. Oh my God. I love this belt. It's like the IC title for women. Look at it. It's white. It's nice. Invictus Pro Wrestling Women's Champion. Here we go. That's 3. Okay. We're still going here. IWF Women's Champion in Nutley, New Jersey. Here we go.
Wait, wasn't that belt on our podcast before, Joe? It looked like it was.
Probably.
I think you
And
stole it
then
from somebody.
IWA, Intense Wrestling Alliance, also in Nutley, New Jersey, based women's champion. We got this nice little number here. Okay, so I got 5 belts. I had 6. I was reigning, defending Goddesses of War champion for Titan Championship Wrestling for about a year and a half. Riley Shepard took the belt in a really gruesome matchup, and I lost, but it's all right.
We're having her on the podcast in a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
We can talk about that then. How she took the freaking belt from me. That's all right.
Oh geez.
I got a little knocked out. I've been hitting the head a lot. So when someone hits me in the head multiple times, I knock out. What do you want me to do?
You mean that thing you said on Mondays and you're like, that was sad.
Exactly. I'm like, you're the reason why I can't remember why I walk into a store.
Do I buy the sauce first or do I buy the dough first?
Nobody wants to take the blame, You bashing my head against the freaking floor. Like, of course I'm gonna have like issues remembering things.
Speaking of that, what is your favorite food? It's an oddball question I'm gonna ask.
Oh, what's your favorite food?
Favorite food.
That's a very bad question to ask someone. So, obviously, I'm Italian. I love Italian food. But if I had to pick like what I could eat every day for the rest of my life and not gain a freaking pound, are you ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Wow.
I like that.
My ancestors are burying my freaking grave. They're picking my plot right now. But I'll be honest, I love Taco Bell. I'm sorry.
That's not real Mexican food.
No shiz, but I like it.
Yeah.
But okay, so if I had to pick like because I cook, I do. I'm not just saying this. I do. Ask anyone who's close to me. I do cook very well. I'm very authentic. I'm very Italian. That's how I was raised. I cook a mean chicken parm. I cook a mean chicken vodka parm. Chili, eggplant parmesan, like penne vodka, homemade. Like I'm saying, like homemade vodka sauce, like with the whole like legit bottle of vodka, which is dangerous, but we do it. God, I love cooking. I was raised very Italian, so
I remember going with Geek and his parents to go eat at an Italian restaurant. That's the one thing I asked, and Geek's like, Joe, I don't know if you should get that. I'm like, what? I like Peniella vodka. I want Peniella vodka.
It's so good.
and then he got all smart. He got all smart. He's like, Joe, there's like no vodka in that. So yes, there is. I got all stupid. I'm like, yes,
there is vodka. There is vodka, but it burns off. If you're aware.
Okay. Is that how that works?
I looked at him like in half baked, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so buzzed right now. He's like, no, you're not, Joe.
Did you say half baked?
You're like half baked.
Like the movie?
Yeah,
the movie.
You're my hero.
I love that movie.
That's our favorite.
That's a great movie
right there.
That's the best movie ever. The guy on the couch. Like,
I think me and Joe used to talk about that movie in college.
Me and Geek used to talk about that movie before all these young kids that's half baked is such a good movie, man. Me and Geek used to watch that movie religiously in college.
All the time. All the time. We watched it like 40, 50, 100.
It's such a good movie though. It's a great movie.
Hey, it's our buddy Papa Dank. Papa Dank on the mic. He's in the chat right now from our friend from Facebook. He's Papa Dank.
What's up, bro?
Hey,
say hi.
What's up?
He's a cool guy. He does interviews like us.
Am I on delay? What the heck, man?
Yeah, I think you're on a delay.
What? Yeah, probably because I don't even see it there.
I see it.
Oh, there we go. There we go. There you go. There's Papa Dank. There you go.
Papa Dank.
Hi, hello. How you doing? What's up? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Such a cool guy, Papa Dank. You know?
That's my go-to line at work when I see a pretty girl that's walking through an
That's my go-to line at work for everybody. I walk past this like lady who's like so cute. She's so old and cute, and I go, "Hey," I'm not gonna say her name. She goes, "Hey, Vickie." I said, "How you doing?" She's like, "I'm good. How you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, there she is."
All my managers know. They're like, Joe's hitting them. Joe's flirting. I'm like, "How you doing?" I'm like, he
wants you to pin Jack Thompson.
That's Jack Thompson. You probably know who that is.
Yeah.
Papa Dank has a belt, kind of like a 24/7 title. And on Twitter yesterday, I called out Jack Thompson and challenged him to I'm not announcing the stipulation until the podcast comes out. We do the podcast in March, but only thing is I gave 3 symbols: a rock, a piece of paper, and then scissors. I ain't trained to wrestle.
I'm not mad at it. I think that's fantastic.
I'm not trained.
I'm not trained. That's my excuse. I'm not trained.
I'm not trained.
You are ridiculous, but I like
you know,
it. You're cool. You're a cool guy. I'll take it, but you're ridiculous.
You know who Jack is, right? At Creative Pro or
what's that?
You know who Jack is at Creative Pro?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a cool guy. You know?
I challenged him. I said, I challenge you, Jack. I called him out on Twitter. I was gonna make a video.
Did he react to it? Is my question.
I don't know.
Not yet. He will. I think
he will. Yeah.
He will.
I gotta make a video.
He's on that Instagram. He's like, please subscribe, right?
I'll do it now on the podcast. If you're watching this, Jack, I'm gonna do it now. Geek, put the breaking news on the screen. Geek, put the breaking news.
Put it on the screen.
Geek, put it on.
Creative Pro New York, because that ain't New Jersey. But we're gonna call you out, brother.
Hey, Jack. I challenge you to the Papa Dank title in a rock, paper, scissor contest on March 25th. I want that belt in my room on the set, and it'll be the Dudes at Ringside podcast title. I guarantee that belt's gonna be mine, punk.
Wow, you're really so. I gotta give you something, man. You're really confident, and I gotta give you that. I appreciate the confidence, but like, you know, you're here comes kayfabe, like, you know, heel Vickie, like, you're talking to this guy like you're a worker. You don't know what you're stepping in the ring with. You're a podcaster. You're a commentator. You're not.
I'm a third generation. That's what.
Yo, what are you doing, man? It's challenging people on matches.
There for a reason. My grandfather was a professional wrestler in the 50s and 60s. Jose Quinones, the Panther.
He's laughing over there.
The name the Panther is not just because I like Panthers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my grandfather was an old school heel.
Look at you.
Yeah. My grandfather.
No wonder why you're so freaking cocky, you jerk.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't even stand him. I'm like, am I the heel of the podcast? Or is it really Joe?
I'm a tweener like you, Vickie. That's why we get along. So I'm a tweener. I'm a good guy, bad guy. I'm a Roman Reigns.
I'm not opposed to this. I'm okay with it. All right.
I'm okay with it. But I don't tell people what Roman Reigns says to people. I just say, I'm here.
You just say whatever comes to mind.
Yes. If I think of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man will appear. Geek just
sounds about right.
Yep, that's me. I'm a nerd.
Silence.
Crickets.
So, Vickie, do you have any stories from the ring or training or
your career so far?
A lot. What do you want to know?
What can you tell? What can you tell that's not going to piss people off?
Oh boy. So I was 8 months in, and I was suggested by someone who was close to me at the time, who I have no hard feelings for. He was an ex-boyfriend, Nikos Ricos. Suggested to just reach for the stars and like reach out to people. And I did. And I sent emails out and everything, and I got an opportunity to be an extra at NXT when they were in Full Sail. Before, this was like way pre-COVID. And I was an extra there, and I wasn't used because I was like 8 months in, man. Like, I was so like early in the business. Like, I didn't know nothing yet. Like, I was just so early, but I was so grateful to be there, and I was so happy to be there. And, you know, it was awesome. You know, you try not to like mark out, but you walk to the door and you see, you know, Road Dogg. Hey, lady, how you doing? And I'm like, Shawn Michaels, Triple H. I'm like, holy crap. Like, I'm like, this is really happening. And I was very professional. I was very on point. Like, I was trained very well. I will never neglect my training. I was trained very well. But you know, I was real professional and everything, but I'm like, wow, man, like this is like, holy crap, like this is happening. And I wasn't used. And I honestly knew that I was not going to be used. And a few months later, I get the call for a tryout. I was December 2019 WWE tryout class. And I'm very proud of that. I was number 1, which is nerve-wracking because we all had wristbands. You have to wear like a wristband on your arm. And I was number 1. And when they handed me the wristband, when I did like my medical and everything and I was cleared, I was like, 1. I'm like, that's not good. I'm like, that means I have to go first. I knew. I was like, that means I have to go first for everything. And I did. I never forget when the first day of being at the tryout, they were like, Victoria Andriola, my freaking shoot government name. And I'm like, oh, they're like promo. And I'm like, fuck. Like, it's nerve wracking. But you know what? I'm very like lights, camera, action, let's go. And I did what I did. At the time when I was there, I was not developed at all. I wasn't terrible, but I was not Vicious Vicky. Like, I wasn't there yet. I was only 9 months in. It sucks in a way because I feel like if I was me now, things would be a lot different. The little things in wrestling and the character, like I'll never forget. And this is not something that's like private. This is like real, you know, man. Like, I'll never forget when I had my practice match, because there's athletes that go there too. Like, you know, like WWE tries to have athletes there too who are not wrestlers, and everyone who was wrestlers were paired to have a match. And I had a match with a girl, and it was a good match. But I'll never forget when I was walking down that WWE tryout ramp, man, with the lights and everything, and I'll never forget Norman Smiley. I heard him say, "What's the gimmick?" And I'm like, fuck. Because I didn't know what I was. I was a valet. Like, I was valeting Nico's Ricos for like 2 years. And I had Greek colors. And I was like his like counterpiece. Like, you know, I didn't know what I was yet. And now I'm like, damn, man. Like, if I was me now, like, you know, it's just timing is important. And I think that at that time, I don't regret it at all. I had an amazing experience. I met some really cool people. And even lately, like I've kind of met like so many people in wrestling. Thank you, Tommy Fierro. Huge shout out to Tommy Fierro. You know, and I don't know, man, like sky's the limit, you know, and I see so many of my friends in wrestling, people who I've wrestled, you know, are people who I came up with who are like getting opportunities, and I'm really happy for them because I feel like I'm a very optimistic person with my actual like personal past, that I'm just like, you know what, it ain't my time yet. Like, it's cool. You know, keep grinding, keep working, and it'll happen eventually. But when people get opportunities, I'm really happy for them because I feel like I want it too really bad, but I'm also not a bitter person and I try not to be. So I think that with all the things that I've seen so far, and I've only been wrestling for about 4 years, all the things that I've seen and have done and have been a part of very early in, I have no complaints, man. You know, I feel like if it's meant to be, it'll be, and if it's not, like, I'm okay with that. You know, I'm 28. I'm not young anymore, so I feel like whatever happens, like, I'll be okay with. And that's like, some people will be like, "Oh, she's full of crap." It's like, no, like, I'll be okay. You know, I don't want to keep ranting though. I'm just trying to give the gist of what I'm trying to say.
We're like, no, keep ranting, keep going away.
You don't have to worry. We like stories here on Dudes at Ringside. It makes us feel like we have people that we don't know. We like to hear their stories, and our fans. That's what makes everybody learn about you more, that they'll know you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the best part of being a podcaster. We learn something new every single episode.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about me is I feel like I'm very transparent. I'm like super, super transparent. And I always wonder, like, did that hurt me in my career? Is because I'm too open, but I'm more of like a mental health addiction recovery advocate that I feel like I can't not tell people my story and like what's going on because I'm just and not even just on top of that, but I'm also just a very honest person. And I feel like I'm too honest sometimes, like, but I just feel like it's hard to not share or tell people my story because I feel like there are people out there who are just like me who are trying to scratch and claw at life or professional wrestling or anything, and they just can't do it because they don't think they can. Then you have a person who's somewhat succeeding and very optimistic and okay doing it. And I feel like when someone sees that, they're like, okay, maybe I can do it too. And that's my big MO. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. Like, keep going.
I was gonna say before we went live, I mean, you were kind of teasing that you play guitar.
So okay, so I can play, but like not like shred.
Okay. Like,
So my guy taught me this. He had a band back in the day. He can play the drums really well. But he taught me a couple things. But I'm a very like. Look, I even, by the way, I even had the Chester Bennington, where is it? Sticker on it.
Here we go. Oh, Chester. That's a good one, Chester.
Another
Chester.
shout out to
Chester's
Chester. I have his flame tattoo on my right arm. I have my Chester, the only man's name I'll probably ever have tattooed on me right here.
What is it? What is it, like 3 years? No, 5 years now?
4 years.
4 years? Wow.
2017.
Wow.
So like I can play like nothing crazy, but I can do. So do you guys know Chicago?
Yeah.
Play?
Yeah?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the band.
Really?
The band, right?
So I'm very like by sounds. That's what I do, right? So fun fact about Vicious Vicky. So I always played music. I always like was into theater. I was always into like acting, singing, everything. Like, and at one point in my life, I played in an orchestra, and I was the celloist. I was a cello. I played the cello, and I swear to you, I had about 4 concerts that we did, and I had no sheet music. It was all blank. I can't read sheet music. I do everything by sound. So if someone teaches me something, like I can play everything by like sound. Like if someone showed me like, hey Vicky, do this, do this, do this, do this. Like I can even do here, ready? Ready? Wait. I love fun facts of Vicious Vicky. What is that?
That's
Green Day.
It's Green Day. I was singing the line. Summer has come and gone.
You really gonna sing it right now?
Wake me up when September ends.
It's getting a copyright strike.
Hey, if we sing it, it's not gonna. We're not gonna. It's like we're not playing a beat. So there you go. We're just singing lyrics. That's all, right?
Yeah, you can sing it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just do the beginning. Ready?
I can't sing it. Joe can sing it.
No, nothing. Okay.
I did
don't
it.
know the word. I don't know the word. I just know.
No,
I
but
just know
I'm.
Yeah, we're here,
we,
right?
we used to have a friend. I'm gonna put him on
Yeah,
the spot.
friends.
He used
At
to
playing bands.
make.
Yeah.
No, he used to make his own rendition of "Wake Me Up When September Ends."
Did he?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. He was just obsessed with the Yankees, and he would just make a whole song in Green Day about
That's actually
Wake
really
Me.
cool because I'm like a hardcore diehard like
It
Yankee
was
fan,
pretty
so I like
corny.
that.
No, it was actually pretty corny.
No, I like it. I like it. I'm here for it. But yeah, I'm not like a shredder, but like, you know, I play by sound. I love music. I'm not gonna lie. I love wrestling. I love wrestling. I always have since I was very young. I mean, like 4 years old. I'm 28, but I love music, man. Um, I I have a piano. I have a guitar. I played the cello. I played the saxophone, and I was really good at that for like 4 years. And I just love music. And I have a few songs that I like compose with like a producer and everything that I put out, and then I just like I don't know, like it's just weird for me like being a wrestler, but like I put out a few songs. I can sing. Like I love music. I think a little bit more than I love wrestling. I really do, and I love wrestling, and I'm not giving up on my dream. It's not what I'm saying. Like I love wrestling very much, but I love music, man. And that's important. Music is like very, very crucial to a lot of people. And I feel like whatever I want to say or whatever I'm feeling, I can just put on paper and then turn it into a melody. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you could
Yeah.
incorporate.
Fun fact about Vickie.
I was just gonna say, if you could incorporate music into your gimmick, that would be awesome.
So I'm glad you said that because that's my next transition. So I was billing myself as the mafiosa, right? Honestly, it's real. It's who I am, but I didn't hear anybody do that. And I just was like, you know what, mafiosa. I made t-shirts, everything. And then a couple months later, someone who was on AEW Dark is the mafiosa. So I'm like, all right, so I ain't fucking doing that anymore. So my next move, and if anyone steals this from me, you're going to hell, is the New Age Lita. I loved Lita, man. Like, loved her. I have her name tattooed on my neck. So Lita has tattooed on her neck Rebel in Russian. So it's not English. It's in Russian. And I have Lita tattooed on my neck because she had the Rebel in Russian. So I mean, like this tattoo that I have here is very Lita based. It's not exact, but like the whole shoulder tattoo gimmick. She was my idol growing up, man. Like I still love her. I still pop for her. Like she's all on TV now. I'm like, bro, like I can't.
She's back, by the way.
She's fuck, man.
You watch it last night?
Yeah, I know.
Becky.
But nobody did what she did. I'm not saying the flips and the dips and shit. I'm saying every freaking show, man, she came out in a different outfit.
Yeah.
She was just different. And nobody does that anymore. And everybody's the same. And this is what I hate about pro wrestling today is when you grew up like our age, like, like our era, like you grew up and it's like they had the same look. Like for themselves. Today in wrestling, very, very few women have a different look. And I feel like everybody's blonde and they have the big plunger lips and they have the nice bright white fake teeth and they have the fucking tits and everything. And it's like, and I'm not hating anyone because if I had money, I'd probably have all that. But I feel like everybody looks the same. Everybody has the bathing suit outfits with the elbow pads and the hand. It's like, no, man. Like, that's not who I am. And that's why I like Lita so much because I'm like, man, like, that's me. And as I got older, I replicated that. And I was like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And I was her. I'll always be a Guidette. Like I'll always be that, like, that's not fake. Like that Guidette, like the poof, like the hoop earrings, like the Guidette. But I'm also like a rocker chick, man. Like I'm like rock on. Like I'm very like, I beat to my own drum. I do what I want. No matter what anyone tells me. Like I do what I want. And I loved her for that because she enabled that. And I feel like nobody does that in indies anymore. Nobody does that. So, like, just a quick preview of Vicious Vicky's new gear. I have my top, quick thing. I have my fishnets. We're not going to talk about that. I have my pants with the freaking, we're not going to talk about it, but Vicious Vicky is going to be Vicious Vicky for life. But the mafiosa is the mafiosa, and that's my roots. But sometimes you got to change, man. And I feel like this is it. You know, nobody did New Age Lita. I felt like Tony Storm was close with like Ashley Massaro, like that punky kind of edgy thing. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to call it. But nobody really did that. Like come out to the ring in different outfits, and it was just like the crowd favorite. And you know, like before heel, even when Lita was a heel, man, she's my favorite. Like I said, her name is tattooed on my neck. Like before she was even like she was a heel, she still was like just different. Every time she came to the ring, she had something different on. And girls today don't do that. They always have the same gear on or the same like outfit or the same like, it's like, what's your gimmick? Is your outfit like, you know what I mean? Like that's why I'm very like invested into the old school era of wrestling because that's how I was trained. So I'm just like, nope. What do I got to do next, man? Like, nope. I don't want to be like everyone else. Like I was the mafiosa. I've been billing myself as mafiosa for this long, but this girl was on TV. You know what? She's billing herself as that 6 months after I posted it. Then you know what? She's the mafiosa now. What's next? You know, because I'm professional enough to be like, you know what? She's on TV, so I'll let her have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just this business is just difficult. It's very difficult. It's very hard to break into a business where everyone is going for the same thing. You know, we're all shooting for the stars. You guys caught me at a very like Victoria moment. You know, like we're behind the curtain right now. I'm very plain Jane. I'm very me, real, and that's how I like to be. I like to be me. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think people like me, is because I'm very me. And that's why I am going with that new age era and that new age gimmick of just be Vicky, be Lita, be Vita. I wish I could be Vita, but I can't because there's already a Vita Von Star. Shout out to my girl.
Yeah. Like when we have people come on our podcast, we like them to be their character, but we also like them to be
themselves.
Be themselves and be original. Like be
tell
what
the
they
stories,
are. Tell stories and have fun. That's why me and Geek started this podcast, to have fun, hang out, and just listen to them. Listen to wrestlers talk about their lives and stuff like that. You know, like
also I just want to add to that conversation. There are a lot of the same gimmicks in wrestling, and it's very hard to be unique today because there's always the psycho girl, there's always the psycho guy, there's always there's always the badass heel, there's always the badass face. You know, it's so hard to have a gimmick. I know I'm going to name drop and I'm probably going to get really, really, people are going to hate me on it, but Mother Endless is such an original gimmick.
You ever hear of her?
Of course, yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't. You said it to a few people and they're like, who's Mother Endless? I'm like, you need to
know. No, I know her and I love her as a person. I think her gimmick is awesome.
Different.
I like it. It's different. I agree. Yes. And that's what gets you over, though, is like it has to be different. And don't get me wrong, like I loved, what I was doing for a while. Like I enjoyed it, but I'm like, man, like nobody did New Age Lita, man. Like, nobody's done that. And if
Nope.
someone
No.
steals this, I know you heard this podcast and you're taking it from me. And guess what? Vicious Vicky's gonna come for you because you can't do that. But I feel like nobody did that. And stay tuned because it's going to be different for me. You know, I'm really excited to kind of debut that new. The thing about it is, it's not just like a forced gimmick. It's me, and that's why I idolized her so much, because she was her, and she still is, man. She's coming out, she's doing her thing, and I'm like, she's still her. Like, she's still her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love that. Like, and I think that's awesome. And I'm a huge rocker chick, like she is. Like, I love rock music. Like, that's my thing. And I think that for me, like, yeah, I'm a Guidette. I am. I can be like, I'm the best of both worlds. Like, I'm very like sassy and Guidette and Italian, but like my main roots, man, are who I am, and I just want to be me. And I was always trained in wrestling. I was trained by the best. Be you with the volume turned up times 1,000. And
Awesome.
I thought I did that for a while, but now I think this is my time where I'm going to actually do that. And if I don't get noticed, I don't. You know, I know people are watching me. I know I have contacts. I know everything, but you know, I'm very optimistic. I'm very faithful. Like, my time is not right now. And when it is, I'll know. And when it is, I'll be really happy. But at the same time, my life is so good. Dude, I met Tom Cook the other day. I met Scott Hanna. I met freaking, like, you know what I mean? Like, I met all these cool people at a comic fest as a wrestler and took pictures with them. And, you know, Tommy Fierro, shout out to Tommy always. You know, we're doing some like really cool things, man, collaborating with some cool people. Like, Tom Cook is like, I mean, if you don't know who Tom Cook is, like, you know what I mean? Like, he did like Scooby Doo and the Jetsons and the Flintstones, and you know, Scott Hanna did like the original Spider-Man comics, man. Like, and I'm a Marvel fan, like I'm a DC fan, like,
Definitely.
oh man, I marked out so bad, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so many connections, and it's not even just in that, like, in just in wrestling, and that I can't explain. And honestly, Tommy Fierro is my huge, huge, huge advocate in meeting people and getting connections and everything. And, you know, I feel like if it doesn't happen, like so I think it's because of my past and like what I've been through. I've been through a lot. Like, I know everyone says they've been through a lot, and I don't ever neglect that. But like, I've been through a lot. Like, when I was young, like too much for like a young kid, you know, not my family. My family's awesome. Nothing to do with my family. But I feel like I always told myself when I started wrestling, like, if I don't make it, I'll be upset, but like, I'll be all right. You know, I'm like, hey, if I don't try this, like, I'll regret it forever. And I did try it. And, you know, 8 months in, I'm at NXT. 9 months in, I have a WWE tryout. So, like, being so early in the business, even though I haven't had anything break since, I did a few extra work things for WWE, but like the last like 2 years, nothing. I will say that the first year of my wrestling career, I was very optimistic and I had a lot of hopes, and I still do. But I'm getting older, not younger. And I know that I want more out of life than just wrestling. And, you know, that's my goal. And I really hope that I get noticed and whatever one day. But I also know that life is like really short. And I think being an addict in recovery, that you realize that as you get older, that life is so short, and you want to chase your dreams and you want to have everything you ever dreamed of, but like, the end all be all is, for me at least, I want to get married, I want to have children, I want to do all that like white picket fence stuff. And I think that, you know, my dad always told me that life is a privilege. And I'll never forget that. Like, I was very young when he told me life's a privilege. And I believe that, because I feel like life is what you make of it. And whether you believe in God or not, there's something above us that gave us what we have right now. And I feel like I have free will to do what I want with it. And if I screw it up, it's on me. And if I, you know, work hard and push forward to make it great, it's going to be great. But I'm also a huge believer in fate too. It's like really weird, man. Like life is just weird. Life is bizarre. Life is, you guys know, like, man, life throws you curveballs. You don't know what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could be anything. But one thing I know for sure is no matter what happens in life, if I don't get signed, which I really hope I do, but if I don't get signed, it sucks, man. But that's okay
Well, fingers
because that
crossed
wasn't
for
my
you.
journey. And I feel like I want that more than anything. And I'm going to keep grinding until I get it. But like at some age, you know, man, I'm like, damn, like, you know I want children. I know I want to get married. I know I want a normal life too. You know, like we're wrestlers, we're entertainers, man. But we want, most of us, not all, most of us want normalcy too, you know, and we want a normal life. And I think that's important to know, is that like we're not in an era anymore. We can, you know, pretend that we're not normal people, because we are. And I'm not in that era anymore where like I have to like pull the curtain forward and be like, nope, I'm this person. It's like, no, I'm this person, but I'm also this person. You know what I mean? Like I'm very open about life because people struggle, man, and I do too, and I'm sure you guys do. Like we all do, and I feel like that's so important. To me, I feel like I love being an entertainer. I love entertaining my fans, but today's day and age, we have so many smart marks that it's so hard to entertain because like they just know. But they're in it, but like you know, there's so many smart marks, and that's okay. But it's like there's nothing more that I would ever want than to put a smile on someone's face, let alone my own.
Yeah, kind of
You
like the
know,
thing
so
with
it's a tough, life is just weird, man.
yeah, kind of like the thing with Rusev and Lana. Everybody knows they're married, so like the whole thing they tried
Yeah.
to screw with it in WWE, it's like that's not real, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
everybody knows Lana and Rusev are married. Like the thing with Ziggler and then the thing with Bobby Lashley that they tried to get involved. You know, everybody knows that Ziggler's
Yep.
not going to go with Lana, you know?
Yep. No, for
So,
sure.
because it's all ruined now. And so the kayfabe's gone. Because she posted it on TMZ. It was all over TMZ and everything. And, you know.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a tough business because everybody's posting everything now. It's not even like a secret anymore. And that's like not a terrible thing. But I grew up, me personally, I grew up in the Attitude Era. That was like my MO. That was like my era. I was born in '93. So my era was Attitude Era. And then the ruthless aggression, and then, you know, what came after that. It's just, I feel like I loved wrestling back then because there was that mystique. There was that mystery of heel and face. And then I got to know the business more. And I'm saying way before I was even involved. I'm still young, but I knew like what heel and face was. Like I knew more in depth into the business because I wanted to be in the business. And I'm talking like I was 4 years old. And like I always share this story because I love it. I was like 4 or 5 in preschool, and then to senior year of high school. What do you want to be when you grow up? They always ask you that question. A professional wrestler. And it was literally a professional wrestler from preschool to senior year of high school. And I've battled a lot of things. I've dealt with a lot of things, and my goal never changed. That's why I'm very optimistic about, hey, I'm going to give it another go. I told myself I'm giving myself another solid year. This is the most real I've been on a podcast, and I'm totally okay with it. I haven't done a podcast in a long time. I'm giving myself another solid year of my new gimmick change and just being me. And if nothing happens, I'm done. You know, I love wrestling. But I'm not gonna. I'm 28. I'm not 18. You know, my body just doesn't respond well to things anymore.
Gotcha.
You know, I'm still in shape. I still go to the gym. I still do my thing, but you know, I do want a life. I want a normal life too. I want to be. I really really want to be signed, and I really hope and pray that I can succeed because I know that I'm coachable. I'm very coachable. I'm very like versatile. Like and anything anyone wants me to be, I can do it. Like, you know, I know that. But I would say I have another year in me of really pushing and like selling myself and really trying until I'm like, you know, I want a family. I want a husband. I want kids. Like I want a normal life too. So I think the curtain gets drawn back when, you know, you're a certain age and you realize like, what if this doesn't happen? I have a plan B. I have a really good job. Like I work for the county that I live in. Like I have a really good job. You know, it's a plan B. You know, plan A is wrestling, but plan B is my life, the rest of my life. So
it's like me and Joe with this podcast. It's like sometimes we'll get 1 viewer, sometimes we'll get 5 viewers, sometimes, and then everyone's like, "Oh, how many viewers you guys get? How many?" It's like, does it really matter?
Yeah, I get that from my mom and dad when I go upstairs at the end of the podcast. They go, "How many podcasts in the chat, Joe?" I'm just like, "I'm my end. I can't see it. Like I don't see anything. I just see a white screen with us on the screen."
Sometimes it's 1. Sometimes it's 1, 5. Today it was 8. You know, there was 8 people in there. You know.
Oh.
Yep.
Mickey, you're gone.
But
hold on, I lost you guys. Hold on.
Lost your picture.
I know. Hold on.
Reviews from the tub says Vicious Vicky is number 1.
It's not about you're right. It's not about
it's not about the views, Joe. It's not. It's like
no, I think Papa Dank's right. It's not about the views. Papa Dank, we have to work on a date to have you on make a early recording for podcast month because we know your schedule is crazy, cuckoo crazy, man. Cuckoo puff crazy, man. So we have to work on a date that we could get each other on the podcast, have you advanced for podcast month, Mr. Dank. So gotta get the mail me that championship belt to put it right here.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
we hear you perfectly fine. So.
What the frick is going on?
Push the camera button again. There it is.
Got it. Okay.
It's there we go.
Leave it up to Vicious Vicky to be a catastrophe.
That's right. It's not about the views. It's all about
that is
creating.
True. I like that. Yes.
You know, sometimes we have 1, sometimes because you never know. In like a couple of years from now, you could have 100 views on a video. You never know, like 1 million, whatever.
Yeah.
And not only that, we're having fun doing this podcast.
Right. Yes.
You know, so
we have you on today. On Thursday we have a girl that does wrestling, and then Friday we have another person. So like, you could be the highest rated video for the week. We don't know. You know what I mean?
You told a great story though.
As I said before live, I said there's people that our fans. We have fans from all over the world. You never know. You could gain a fan from England and you won't even know it, and you'll get a message saying, "I'm from England. I saw you on Dudes at Ringside. You're cool."
Yeah.
It's so true. It is true. Yes, 100%. You have no idea. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool person, you know. And I don't know if you saw what he said. Vicious Vicky is number 1.
Reviews from
What's up, bro? Yeah, I know him. What's up?
Yeah. You can make sure you follow us.
Yeah, please follow. Please follow. Yeah. So like, if any of our fans want to purchase any of your merch, where can they find your merch?
So I'm very big on TeePublic now. I don't do pro wrestling tees anymore, only because I haven't uploaded my most recent designs. But TeePublic, I have the Vicious Hustle Fitness. If anybody follows me on Instagram or Twitter, I have my Linktree linked. My TeePublic store has my most recent merchandise. Like I have a new shirt that I actually just released like a week ago. It's really cool. It's like a little cartoon graphic. Yeah, man. So T Public.
Thank you.
T Public's where you want to find Vicious Vicky.
Make sure you follow Vicious Vicky too as well. So while you're
Yes,
at
please.
it, please give her a follow. So
we saw your followers went up to what think you said you went up to like?
It was 7,000, then it went down. I'm like, what the frick? It's probably all bots and crap.
Yeah, I get mad. I get mad whenever I go look. You know, you can look into your story and see like who's was looking at it, and then I see these dirty pages trying to watch our story. I'm like, ew, ew, ew.
They're all fake.
The dirty ones. I'm like, ew.
That's like the thing with Spotify. Sometimes we have 10 and then we'll have 6. I'm like, nobody's.
It's confusing. I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm all for the followers, you know. But yeah, Vicious Vicky, I'm not hard to find at all. I'm not.
And you wrestle also for CCW in the Delaware, the one in Delaware.
Oh boy. Hasn't been for a very long time. I have no ill feelings towards CCW. I have a good relationship with DJ. I just haven't wrestled for them for a while. The thing with me is like sometimes it's very hard to travel. Recently I've been trying to get back out there, but yeah, I got to get to CZW soon. So you might see me on CZW soon.
There's a lot of good promotions that are on the East Coast that are like white hot. Where I live in PA, there's PPW. That's one of them that I know a girl that always watches that promotion. And I mentioned your name, and she's like, I'm like, wasn't she in PPW at one point? And I'm like, she's like, oh yeah, I think she was here. But yeah, PPW is a good one. New York Wrestling Connection. Oh yeah. There's a question from the audience.
Do you like Sublime and the Misfits? She's gonna be mad if I.
Do I do? No, I don't do anything. But do I like Sublime and the Misfits? I don't like. I'm not a big fan of the Misfits, but I do love Sublime. Top 3 all-time favorite bands for sure. So I can get with that.
What song is this song from Sublime that makes you go like, yeah, man, I gotta chill out and just chill.
I'm not gonna say what I got because that's very, very stereotypical. I'm gonna go with what's the one that's stolen from an African land, chased out with a knife, and a face like Bob Marley, and a mouth like a motorbike. What is that one?
Yeah, I never heard that one. I thought you.
Well, the bars are always open. And the time is always right. And if that good words goes unspoken, the music goes all night.
If wrestling doesn't work out, you can always sing and play.
Oh, wait. It was Mike Tyson, my love above. If I was Mike Tyson, now.
Same in the end.
Same at the end. That's what it's called.
Laughter is free anywhere. Just call me. If you're down with Sublime, you get. Frick, what the name was that song? I don't know. I forget the name of the song.
It's just said same in the end.
Is that the name of the song? Same in the end?
I think that's the song, Same in the End.
I don't think that's the name of the song. I don't think so.
The mod likes the song Blue Dog.
But you know what I mean. Yeah, you know the song, so yeah. That's probably my favorite.
Blue Dog?
Stolen from an Africa land. I was chased out from the start. Is it really Same in the End? It might be. No, I don't think so, but we're going to go with that.
All right. Sounds good.
But my favorite band ever of all time is Linkin Park. I mean, like, hello. You know, that's my favorite.
And we know your favorite.
What is like your top 5 Linkin Park songs?
Ooh, you're naughty. Okay. Good question. So my number 1 song in life ever is Crawling.
Oof.
Number 2 would be Leave Out All the Rest. Number 3 is From the Inside. Number 4 is that's a tie. Pushing Me Away.
Mm-hmm.
And number 5 would be. Oh, it's tough. I
Don't
like
push me.
Talking to Myself. It was on their One Light album. Nobody liked that was before he died. Nobody liked that album, but I love that song. I like the words and Heavy too is good, but nobody liked that album because I thought it was not them, which it wasn't. But you know, it was still them. If you're a fan, you like who you just get accustomed to what they put out.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Crawling, I will be honest.
For me,
people ask me all the time, like,
Don't
what's your
push me.
favorite
Is
song
a
or what's
tune.
your favorite Linkin Park song? Both questions. I'm always like, Crawling is like my number one favorite song in life. Like, I just love that song. There's like little nuances in it and the music, and what he says and everything. I'm just like, man, I love this song. Like,
but my song from Linkin Park that always gets me going is Points of Authority.
I love Points of Authority. I love all Linkin Park. That's the problem. It's like it's so hard. Like,
I like the first album and the second album are probably my two
friends
favorite
would do
albums.
like our little a fake wrestling thing, and that was my theme song.
Points of Authority.
Yeah, that was
I
my
love
theme.
Points of Authority. Did you just ask me what is my favorite Hybrid Theory or Meteora?
Yeah.
No, I said my favorite two albums are Hybrid Theory and Meteora, probably my two favorite albums.
So those are like, as a diehard, like I'm a diehard, like I am. I would say yes, those are two of their best albums ever. Very, 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 like, I mean, from start to finish, and I'm talking like the instrumentals, everything.
Yeah.
Very, very good albums. I went to a Linkin Park concert, a tribute concert, because I never saw them live, which is difficult for me, because I really am a diehard. But they were never in Jersey, man. Like, they were just barely here. But my guy, Bob Culture, shout out Rob Williams, he came with me to a Linkin Park tribute concert. And this was at Woodbridge, Big Shots in Woodbridge. It was a Linkin Park tribute concert. And this cover band played Linkin Park. They played all of Hyper Theory and all of Meteora.
Wow.
And man, let me tell you something. Like, they I don't want to curse, but they really, really showed up and showed out. They were amazing. I was crying. I have pictures of me and videos of me, like the guy took of me. Like, I was just a mess because I never experienced Linkin Park live. And to hear their music live, even though it wasn't Chester and it wasn't Mike and Han and whatever, it wasn't what I wanted. It was really close. And for me as a diehard, I was like really happy, man. Like, and I was front row, like right by the stage. I sang Shadow of the Day on the mic. Like, it was like the coolest thing in the world. And I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like if someone can duplicate even a little bit Chester, like, all right.
Yeah.
That's very hard to do. Very hard to do.
You can't replace Chester. He has such that voice, that.
Like, it's so weird but funny. I said this to a girl I worked with, because now I would never thought this when back in the day when me and Geek would be jamming out to Linkin Park. Where I work in my grocery store, they play Linkin Park on the random music. I never would think that in my life, my wildest dreams, I would hear Linkin Park playing in the middle of a grocery store. I'm like, what?
Yep.
No. I must be on something. My medication must be messing me in my brain up right now. I'm hearing Chester's beautiful pipes in the middle of a grocery store as I'm blocking a wall.
So let me ask you a question, both of you. I'm gonna quiz you. Have you ever heard the cover-ish song? I'm gonna say cover-ish, but of Chester with Motley Crue, "Home Sweet Home"?
No.
I would suggest, if you type in whatever music platform you use, Chester Bennington, "Home Sweet Home." God, that's a beautiful song. It's him singing. It's "Home Sweet Home." He sings pretty much all of the verses. The second verse is their lead singer, but man, like, it's so beautiful, and I cry every time I listen to it because his voice is just so powerful. And I'm big on, like I said, I love music. as much as I love wrestling, sometimes a little more. And I feel like, man, his voice was very powerful and it was very inspiring. And what he said, and I've told friends this, I'm like, listen to what he's saying, man. You know, and it sucks. He's gone. He's not here, but what he was saying in his songs was so powerful. And for someone like me who went through a lot of the same struggles, I always looked up to that and I always listened to him. But I never, the difference is I was very strong where I felt like I don't want to die. I just want a better life.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like music, I think we all know this, music gets you through like those really hard, difficult times, man, where you're just like, if I put this song, for me, if I put this Linkin Park song on, if I put this Blink-182 song on, if I put this Phil Collins song on, like I might be all right, you know, like it's just, it's life's weird, you know, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but Geek is the biggest Korn fan.
Oh yeah, he's the
Oh,
biggest.
really?
Yeah. It's
What's your favorite Korn song?
Blind. Yeah.
I like the what's
the
that
one
one?
that started off.
I was a man before I was a god, or something like that.
Yeah.
I like Shoots and Ladders.
Before I forget.
Shoots and Ladders is another great song, Joe. I should have mentioned that one.
Oh, Shoots and Ladders.
That's a good one.
The bagpipes.
Do you like Saliva? Either one of you?
Saliva's good, right?
Saliva's a good band.
Yeah.
Stained.
Oh yeah, I like Stained.
I just saw them two together at Jones, Korn and
Seether?
No, it was Korn and
I've
Stained.
heard like one or two songs about Seether, but the band that gets me all the time, and I'm always jamming out. Anytime they play, I play them. I used
Rage
to play
the Machine.
Oh.
Rage the Machine.
Yep, I love Rage Against the Machine, but the band that gets me all the time, it's Seven Dust.
Really?
Love Seven Dust.
Okay.
Oh.
No, I'm not mad about it. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, Seven Dust. The song Terminator. Oh, it gets me riled.
Oh, I all I saw was The Kids Aren't. That's all I saw. The Offspring. I thought I said The Offspring. The Kids Need Early Blink. It was nice to know other people were awkward and had no idea. Right. Oh, sorry. So I loved Blink too. That was like a big hometown hit in my hometown. I grew up in Belleville, New Jersey. That was at my like my age back then when I was in high school. Out of high school, like our big thing was Blink, man. Like we all loved Blink. Really big on Blink too, but I gotta tell you, man, like if you guys gave me like a top 5, you ready for this? You're gonna be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Top 5 favorite bands, I would have to say Linkin Park is number 1, and no matter where I'm at in life. I mean, I got the freaking guy's name tattooed on me, like number 1.
I told you I saw Korn and Linkin Park together.
Yep.
Can I say I hate you on air?
With Joe. That was a joke.
I was here with him. I was there with him.
Oh, you guys suck. Linkin Park, number 1. Number 2, don't judge me, but 3 Days Grace. So
they're not bad. It's a good band.
So 3 Days Grace. I loved Adam Gontier when he was part of them, and he left, and then this new guy came in, and I was like, and then I was like, I heard him, and I'm like, now that he's been there for so long, like that's, I'm huge on distinction, and I feel like if someone has a distinct voice, this is why I liked Lita too. Goes back to wrestling. It's a very distinct voice. It's a very distinct sound. And I think that 3 Days Grace, when they had Adam, he was just, you knew, like, when it played, like, that was 3 Days Grace. And then they got the new singer, and he was the same. And I'm like, shit. Like, I'm like, okay. And it was good, and I liked them. I still liked them. I still love them. I saw them live. I went to see, and number 3 is Breaking Benjamin. So I went to see Breaking Benjamin live at PNC 2 years ago, and Chevelle, which I also like, not top 5, but I like Chevelle. They opened up for Breaking Benjamin, as did 3 Days Grace, and it was awesome, man. Like I was having the time of my life. So Linkin Park, 3 Days Grace, Breaking Benjamin, Sublime, totally different genre, but Sublime is 4, and you'll never guess my 5th. You might be like, what? but Panic at the Disco.
That's different, you know.
I grew up with Panic at the Disco, and I love Brendan Urie. Their sound always evolved, and that's how Linkin Park was. And I felt like, God, I loved Panic at the Disco because they were so like poppy and new age, and then they just transformed into whatever they thought they could be, and they nailed it every time. And I love that about artists. That's the thing about being a wrestler and a musician. I'm not a musician, so to speak, but like an artist, whether it's music, wrestling, acting, whatever it is. Like I feel like being an artist, the sky's the limit, you know, and you can be creative as much as you want. And I feel like when I love music so much, I look at these people who evolve, and that's why I loved all the bands that I like, because they always evolved into something different. And I think that that's huge in our industry. And when I say our industry, I mean podcasting, you know, wrestling, acting, singing, dancing. Like you can evolve. You can always evolve into something different. And I feel like that's important because, you know, I could do something tomorrow and someone else is going to do it. It happened to me. So now I have to go to the next thing because I want to be different. And I think that goes back to that saying of dare to be different. You know, I can listen, I should be a motivational speaker because I could talk for hours.
You've been
You
awesome
picked the right person to have on your podcast because I could just talk.
You've been an awesome guest, by the way.
Podcast that they get so bumbled microphone scared that we're only on for 30.
No.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's, I don't know.
Some people don't like to talk. And it's like,
they get bumble scared. Like, we'll go on in the microphone.
Not me. You picked the right girl because I can freaking talk forever. Literally.
Please, when you go back to your friends, go to your training facility, please tell your friends. The next show you go to, please say, "Hey, Dudes at Ringside Podcast, check your request box. They're always down for it."
I will definitely post about it. I will definitely share you guys. You guys were awesome. I'm really grateful that people actually still want to talk to me.
We want to talk to everybody.
Oh, thanks. Make me feel even better. You know, what the hell?
No, not like that. Not like that.
I don't know if it'll mess up the screen. If you want to do a still shot, you could screenshot your picture on your phone right now.
How do I do it?
What kind of phone do you have? iPhone, regular phone?
iPhone.
Okay, whatever screen.
Oh, it's like a regular screenshot, right?
Yeah.
We'll pause. Hold on. We'll pause.
All right, ready?
Okay.
Wait, I gotta move my fat fingers out of the way. Okay. Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've been an awesome guest, by the way.
Thank you so much, Vickie. And hold on, and definitely tell your friends about us, Vickie, and tell them. And this is Joe Panther the third. And
wait, I want to ask Vickie one question before you go. Do you have any upcoming matches or?
I do. So.
Real quick.
Saturday, I'm double shotting, which is very common these days. I have a show at 1 p.m. at Super Crazy Pro Wrestling, and then I have another show at Warriors of Wrestling. I'm defending my title. And then, I'm double shotting this weekend. It's crazy. And then the next weekend, I have Tommy Fierro's ISPW Wrestling on Friday. And then Saturday, I have, what do I have Saturday? Oh my God, I don't even know. Oh, MCW Wrestling in Maryland. So that's a big deal. It's a big one. So the next 2 weeks are going to be really packed, and I'm really excited. So
yeah. So
just follow my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, whatever you want. I'll share everything. So.
And if you have any posters that you want to send us on Instagram, we will happily post the posters.
I have a couple match graphics, man. I can send them to you for sure.
Way.
Yeah. So this is Metal Geek
and Joe Panther the third, and Vicious Vickie, and we will see you in the next one.